Hello, hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of April 20th through 26th. You guys know what to do. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. Please subscribe to this channel. That would be really helpful. Comments down below. All I ask is that you be kind. And I think that's it. Same 3 decks that you guys are familiar with. I have to take sips of my coconut water every now and again, if I remember. So, sorry in advance for the pauses. Okay, that's it, guys, I think, right? I think that's everything. Yeah, let's begin. What do we need? Let's see. We have God in the shadow, God archetype, despotism, and cruelty, using power to control people. Okay, not great. Oh, actually, yes. Okay, it's in the need. All right. So basically it's saying that, we need to break free from this pattern is basically what it's saying. And so this could be us. This could be coming at us. Okay. So we've been getting like kind of these messages. I think it's been a while since we've gotten messages like this, but at least 6 months ago, we were getting a lot of messages about not being controlling, not trying to over control the situations, being bossy, trying to dictate other people's lives, like different things like that. So it feels like this energy is coming back, and it's saying that we need to do that, right? So at least it's saying like, we're having an itch to do that. But again, it's in the shadow. So basically it's saying it's like we're having an itch not to do that. Okay. So basically it's saying if there's somebody that's coming around again that is doing this to you, that is bossing you around, who is trying to control you, trying to tell you that they know what's best for you, that kind of thing, you might feel like I'm getting like a rebellious type energy coming from this. We want to rebel. We need to kind of break free from that. And then if it's us, if we're being a little too controlling, trying to dictate things and, that kind of thing, we need to cut out that behavior. So either way, it's not good. We don't want it anywhere near us. Like I keep seeing spirit just being like, push this away, get this away from me. Like this. And I feel that way. I feel like I need this energy to get away from me. Like I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. So there's something that might come back, that it feels that way. Or you might be, feeling yourself getting that way. Like this is especially if you're a parent, for example. That's a really good example. Maybe you feel like you're meddling too much in your child's life or something like that, getting a little too controlling. That's like an easy relationship to overstep the boundaries. So yeah, it's like, stop it. This behavior needs to stop. That's what it's saying, first and foremost. All right, action needed. We have untamed. Okay, so in the wilderness, so untamed means like we cannot be controlled. Well, look at that coming from what I was just talking about. Yeah, so action needed, we need to be a little bit more untamed. We need to be a little bit more wild. We need to be a little bit more free and more liberated, okay? So whatever feels like, by the way, it doesn't have to be a person that feels controlling. It could be a situation that feels controlling. It might feel like it's a job that feels controlling. Like I definitely feel, and with this card too, this kind of rebellious type energy where we want to be free, and we want to have more leeway in something or some situation or some relationship. Like we want to be free to explore, we want to make our own decisions, like that kind of thing. And it's under action needed, so we need to start doing that. Okay, so whatever's controlling you, whatever controlling behavior, whatever, anything that's suffocating you, that's a really strong word there, but I feel like it's warranted for this situation, for this energy. Whatever is suffocating you or holding you back or something like that, that will not let you explore, okay? Because actually this could also be like you're finding yourself wanting to explore more, go somewhere without a plan, be a little bit maybe more spontaneous. I'm stretching it a little bit here, could be, but it definitely feels like more of the former, where we just, we want to be free of whatever is controlling us or making us feel like we need to control something, right? So yeah, I like those two energies. They're pretty good together, and they're complementing each other, I would say. Issue, we have round and round. Okay, so this is basically cyclical energy. This could mean I definitely feel a little bit like more positive with this card. I know it's under issue, and I'll explain that in a second, but it's, usually it comes from like routine habit. So basically it's just saying that we're having an issue maybe stopping a habit, getting a habit going, being on time. I'll definitely throw that here, being on time, doing something in a repeated way. Like maybe there's something that you have to do constantly, daily or weekly, or, well, this is for the weekly, so it's probably daily, and we're not necessarily getting it done. Maybe you're trying to implement flossing, and you're just having an issue. Like, I don't feel like it's a big thing. Like I said, it's not, I don't feel like it's major, but, we're just having a hard time with routine, with some type of habit, some type of thing that maybe, again, we have to do daily. That's okay. Like I said, I don't feel like it's too detrimental to our life, but don't beat ourselves up if we're having issues. Challenge, teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. So we're having a challenge, communicating knowledge and experience, skill, wisdom. Okay, so this is a communication issue. We actually haven't had a communication issue in a while. So we're having a challenge with explaining something. So you might feel like you're tongue-tied this week. You might feel like you can't explain something that's happened to you, or you're having something that's popping into my head here as an example is like if you got a new person at work and you're supposed to train them and teach them the ways, like you might feel like you're fumbling that in some way, shape, or form, right? Like where it feels challenging, you're having like a hard time doing that for whatever reason. So, perhaps you've learned something recently and you just like have a hard time like communicating it, or maybe not recently, maybe this is a job that you've done for like decades, and trying to like train another person, it's like odd because it's like you can't put into words what you do every day, and like like something, it feels like the communication is off. You don't know how to speak, and you don't know how to properly articulate the ins and outs of, again, the job or whatever. That was just an example. So it just feels like we're having a hard time. It's just like a little challenging to be that teacher archetype for whatever reason. Change, focus. Okay, so we're becoming more focused. Oh, what a beautiful card. This artwork just blows me away every time. Okay, so basically our focus is changing. So we are becoming, maybe our focus is changing, but it definitely feels like we're being more focused, right? I know focus is the next one, so I'd love to see what's going on there, but this is basically saying that we're becoming more, we're concentrating on something more. We're becoming a little bit more laser focused on something, like we are zooming in on something. We're making something a priority, right? So if you feel like you've been kind of like all over the place and not able to focus or concentrate on something, that is changing. So if there's something that you've like really wanted to do, I think this fares really well there. Yeah, I like that. I know for me, like, it's quite literal, to be honest. Like, it feels like I haven't been able to really focus or concentrate because I've got a lot of stuff going on up there in my brain. I'm going through some kind of brain injury, long story. But if you guys have been here a while, you kind of know more of the backstory. But yeah, it's actually, that would be really nice if things actually changed in that area where I could focus more. And I feel like, I'm healing, obviously, so could be for sure. But, if you feel like you haven't been able to concentrate or really focus on one thing. And yeah, that's the other thing too. It feels like one thing, So if you've maybe been juggling multiple projects, this is maybe the week where it comes down to one project, and and then you just put all your energy towards that. So I see it as a positive thing. Focus. Okay, serendipity. So serendipity is like if something is serendipitous, it's kind of like meant to be. It's kind of like the fates card, kind of like synchronicities. So it's saying focus on those. So pay attention to those, and maybe that helps you make the decision of what to actually focus on. Basically Spirit gives you all the signs and the synchronicities to do that, or it feels serendipitous to do that. So yeah, look out for all the signs from the universe, basically. Reflect. Monk Nun in the negative, in the shadow, negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. Okay. this is like the energy of like poo-pooing material things, looking down at material things, you know, kind of feeling like you're above that kind of thing. So basically it's unreflect, so it's asking us to kind of reflect on our relationship to material things. So you could be, you know, in this archetype of the shadow of the monk being like, I don't need possessions, I don't really care about how I look, I don't, you know, and all those things, which is noble, you know, in its own right? We also have a light to this, but, you know, so it's not good or bad, but Spirit is just asking us to kind of like reflect on our relationship to material things, or how we present ourselves, or physical beauty, like different things like that. So definitely think about that. Maybe you're overdoing it, but maybe this is really, it's signaling underdoing it, but you could be overdoing it, right? Like maybe you never buy yourself like nice things because you feel, you know, you just feel like you don't need them, you know, and you're wearing clothes with like holes in them and paint stains and like different things like that. Or, you know, the opposite would be you are overspending and you buy things that you don't even wear and it's putting you into debt and, you know, things like that. So it's kind of asking your, you know, just in general, you know, it's different for every person, our relationship to those things, to the physical world, basically. So just think about that. It's a really good journal prompt. Okay, responsibilities. We have eagle vision. Okay, so your responsibility is to have a vision. Okay, I like this along with the focus card. Okay, it's basically saying like you're honing in on something. It's time to think about a vision. So it's your responsibility to get the vision correct as well. To get it down, to write it down, to know what it is, to focus on it. Yeah, this feels like I'm getting this energy again of like a one-track mind. Like, do you see the vision? It's your responsibility to know the vision, go towards the vision. You know, it's good. And the eagle is like, you know, sees one thing, right? And can, you know, everything else gets zoned out, right? And you zone in, you know, like that kind of thing. It's definitely getting that vibe. So yeah, I like this. This is basically 2 cards already telling us that we're really, you know, really honing in, zoning in, zooming in, to, you know, a bigger vision, one vision, one focus. Money, finances, and career. What do we got? A leg up. Okay, ooh, a good one for this slot here. So money, finances, and career, a leg up. We love seeing a leg up because that means advantageous energy. So basically it's saying take advantage in a positive way, right? Sometimes it feels a little bit more negative, but definitely feels positive here. So it's definitely saying if there is an opportunity, jump on that opportunity. If somebody has the in for you, or you know a friend of a friend that is, you know, has a job opening, take that. Okay, don't feel bad about it, right? Yes, some things are privileges, but you know, you don't have to feel bad about your privileges. You just have to use them in the right way, right? That's basically what it's about. So if there is an advantageous, like even if it doesn't have to be opportunity, if you know that you are, how do I say this? Actually, let me take a sip of my coconut water really quick. Okay. If you know that, if you have a skill that you have an advantage over people, you're better at drawing than 90% of people. Use that to your advantage in some way, shape, or form, okay? At work, to make money, something, okay? So use what your advantage is, basically. Take the opportunities, and just do it, right? Don't think so much about it. Don't feel bad about it. I'm not trying to tell you to feel, but I'm just trying to relay that you don't have to feel bad about it, is what I should say. All right, surprise. We have mediator, negotiating with an alternative motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Okay. All right. This is not so great. Okay. let me explain this energy. All right, so this is basically saying somebody is maybe steering you, somebody or something may be steering you towards something, but they have like a hidden agenda, right? So if you're like trying, so basically, actually, let me just cut to the chase. I would refrain, you guys make your own decision, use your own intuition and discernment. I would refrain from taking advice from somebody this week, okay? I'm just gonna say what I feel, okay? Again, you guys take what resonates, leave the rest, use your own intuition, use your own discernment, okay? But this is saying that, and it's under surprise, so it could be somebody that you trust or that you think has your best interest, right? This is why I don't like this energy, because it feels a little sneaky, okay? So it just feels like that there's like a hidden agenda somewhere, right? Like, how do let me think of something really quick. Let me think. It's almost kind of like you're asking a friend if you should dye your hair blonde or brunette, and they're jealous of you, so they pick the hair color that they feel like would not look the best on you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by mediator in the shadow, because it's basically saying like there's a hidden agenda, right? And that hidden agenda is they're jealous of you, you know, and they feel like they're in competition with you, right? And so, you know, their advice isn't, you know, it's like sneaky, you know, it's not genuine, right? So just watch out for that. That's like a small little thing. I don't feel like it's like huge, but you know, I think you'll be surprised to find find out like it's under surprise. So it tells me it might be somebody that you really wouldn't think would do that, right? And okay, in that scenario I just gave you, does that mean that you have a bad friend, you know, quote unquote bad friend? No, you know, everybody gets jealous from time to time, but you know, just know that, you know, and usually they're, you know, and also like they might usually be genuine, right? And then they've been feeling really down on themselves and really jealous of you, and you know, on the back end, and so they make that decision to tell you, you know, the wrong thing or whatever. All right, I think I beat a dead horse with this, but basically I'm trying to say is, okay, just watch out for other people's ulterior motives, or hidden agendas, or biases. Okay, that's like another thing. Watch out for people's biases this week, and that could be unintentional. Like sometimes people don't even think about their unintentional bias, right? Like there's a lot of examples I can give for that, like especially like in the political spectrum. Okay, like people come from like a different worldview and they give their opinions based on that worldview, and it might be completely different from yours. So yeah, so just be careful there. I think I said everything I wanted to say there. Hopefully it makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know down below, but I would also like to hear how it has manifested or has showed up in your life in this way. All right, friends, we have Sun Faith. Okay, so this is about having faith. All right, so having faith in friends, having faith that everything is going to work itself out, having faith that somebody will pull through for you, having faith that everything will work itself out, having faith that your friend is going to be okay. So there's definitely, guys, lots of spiritual, obviously this is a spiritual reading, but you know, we've gotten the God, we've gotten the monk nun, then we've gotten the faith card. So, you know, just pointing out that maybe we need to connect with our faith a little bit more, right? This week, obviously, we need to do it when it comes to something with friends. So maybe if like a friend isn't doing so well, like having faith that they're going to be okay, like different things like that. So definitely have faith in community, family, friends. I would say all count under this for sure. All right, romantic connection. We have milk and honey. Okay, so this is bittersweet energy. So this is usually about like, oh, this is great, but you know, it's kind of bittersweet. So it's a romantic connection. So maybe, I'm trying to think of an example for you guys. Maybe, maybe your partner finally gets a job, and that's exciting because they've been kind of depressed that they haven't been able to find work, or they've been looking for work for a long time, but then you find out that the job is going to cost them like 60, 70 hours per week and you're not going to see them, right? So it's like kind of like a trade-off. Like there's some kind of trade-off here. I like bittersweet energy because it's like, you know, it's kind of like a neutral type energy. Like it's not quote unquote good or bad, you know, it's just like how you look at it. It's perspective. So yeah, there's not too much more I can say here, but I thought that was a pretty decent example. But yeah, bittersweet energy for sure. Okay, important. We have, bully. Shadow conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. This is the card that, so this is, I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. I literally was feeling this energy, okay? So definitely the bully card is back. The bully energy is back. So this is saying it's important that we don't bully, okay? Or that we don't boss people around. We don't make fun of people. We don't put people down. And it's important that we, again, rebel, you know, towards that type of energy if it's coming towards us, okay? So it's important. There's a reason it came up, okay? It's a reason I started feeling it up there with the God complex, right? Going on there. Yeah, it's important that we get rid of this energy. No. We don't like this energy, okay? So, or at least put boundaries down, I would say. All right, health and wellness. We have cedar tree wisdom. Okay, so you've gained wisdom in your health and wellness journey. I mean, wisdom is basically the knowledge that you've had to learn kind of like the hard way, I would say. And boy, does this resonate for me. You've just got a lot of wisdom when it comes to your health this week. You're like actually like feeling that, like, wow, I've come a long way, or I really know a lot now, or I'm really wise. I won't make this, I won't make this negative decision again, or something along those lines. But yeah, it just feels like you've got a lot of wisdom in whatever journey it is. Maybe this could also mean like graduating from something, I want to say, like, maybe you're on a mental health journey and your therapist is like, I think the work is done. You might want to take some time off from seeing me, or I don't think we need to see each other so often, or something like that. And so it feels like you're graduating from something because you are wise now. You have learned, it's almost kind of like the mentor card in a way. The mentor archetype. But yeah, we have a lot of wisdom. There's, you have, again, graduated to like a different level of something, and it kind of just feels like that, like something accumulates, I guess I want to say, or something has come to a fruition of some kind, and you are appreciating the journey, you're appreciating the wisdom that you have gained. Overall outcome, truth be told. Okay, so this is about being more authentic. This is about telling the truth more. This is about speaking your truth more. So you might find that towards the end of the week that you feel like you want to talk about something that has happened to you, or you want to speak up about something that maybe you haven't been able to talk about before, or you want to speak your truth, however that looks, or you want to be more authentic about what you've been going through, or who you are, or like whatever it actually is. So I definitely feel a component here, again, of authenticity, being telling the truth more, speaking up more. I will say this could also be maybe a little bit more towards the end of the week, which would go into the weekend. You feel like you're more honest with yourself. You feel like you want to be more honest with yourself. You want to be more honest with the people around you. It could be that. Or it could also be maybe you found something out. Less that, more of the former, but just throwing it out there because this is the collective. So there's a lot of people's energies that I'm reading at this point. So yeah, it could be like maybe you find something out. I will say, if it is that, for some of you guys, if you find something out, it's not the greatest. It's a little bit of a gut punch, nothing like life altering, but, maybe something you didn't know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, guys, let me look. Any red flags? I mean, maybe that a little bit, that last one. Mediator, I would say for sure. And then the bully stuff. You guys don't fall into old habits. Don't try to dictate. Don't try to control. Okay, even if you're just trying to control the outcomes, control something. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? And like I said, boundaries for anybody that is doing that to you, trying to control you, trying to bully you, that kind of thing. Other than that, I'm liking it. I'm liking this week for sure. Yeah. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to interacting with you in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.